Hello and welcome in the new episode of Will We Finish This Damned Game? So, where we left off is we actually made this enemy be shootable, and that's pretty much it. Bullets are now despawning I saw outside of the scene, and last time we actually identified an issue which we kind of ignored. I didn't pay too much attention to it. I suppose I didn't. I don't know. When I'm doing this, it's not scripted or anything. I'm doing things on the fly. So if I see something but then decide to do something else, I will probably forget what I was talking about, or you know, I might get better with this if I really try. But for now, it is what it is. So, um, I was saying that, oh, it doesn't work because these are not despawning. Well, it turns out it was a lie, guys. It's not because these should be despawned, it's because these are actually touching the scene bounds, and so they are not outside of the scene, so they don't get despawned. Okay. Now, why they despawn here? Well, it could be because the future position is actually outside. Okay, not sure why specifically in this spot. Oh, it's because of the corner. So the corner of the axis aligned bounding box, so yeah, I don't know why I said it like that. So the corner of the box will actually reach the outside of the scene faster here because we are already outside here on the left side. And remember, the points are in the top left. So just discussing a few things that might be, slightly like um, confusing since the last video, if I remember them correctly. So we are not going to address this. What we can do is simply expand. Well, we can do that now. So we can expand the boundings of the scene. So instead of this, we can say like, okay, minus 64, minus 64. So we are slightly outside in the top left. And well, why the hell not? Let's do it. Well, actually, let's not do that here. But we will see this also influences the this mob. You see, now it's going more on the outside here. So whatever, what we can do here is say, okay, let's make this a little bit bigger and this also a little bit bigger. And so now it should be consistent. And now it's not gonna despawn weirdly there. No, it still does actually. Yeah, maybe we have to make this even bigger, I suppose. But yeah, we can live with it, I guess, but it's kind of bothering me. So let's fix this thing. So let's see if we can just simply fix this with that. So it would mean that we understood the actual issue that we have. So it's not solved with that. So that's quite interesting. So this actually doesn't get triggered here in this position. Interesting. And so what we can do to test to see why it actually despawns is we can go into the scene where we are calling the on exit, right? On scene exit, and check to see what's our position. And well, it's never called actually. Oh, that's extremely interesting. So what, are these bullets not despawned? They are. See, the number of objects is 1, so it's only our ship. So why isn't this triggered actually? That's interesting. Huh, they are getting destroyed. Are they? Well, they are. We know they are. So why were they actually destroyed? We shouldn't be here. We should actually be in the bullets. Guys, this is real-time quality debugging, okay? So, is it because of the collision or is the scene exit? Let's see. So it's because of collision. And so the other entity is actually the player. Right. So let's see. So we are actually colliding with the player, which is kind of interesting. What we can do is oh, okay. So I know why. It's because the player actually doesn't. First of all, the player doesn't have the correct bounding box because we didn't set it up. And second of all, we didn't add here any way to exclude the player. So first of all, we should do something. We should change this from player projectile to simply being a projectile. First of all, let's change this. So we rename it into a projectile because we will use this as a sort of a base for other projectiles. Let's rename this into projectile and here as well. And so we will need to do some other stuff also. A projectile should know what it can hit and who's the owner of the projectile, so we can't hit ourselves. Okay, does it make sense? So if game object, we will have like an owner. Okay, and let's put the owner here, game object owner. So let's copy this, put it in here, and let's say m owner equals owner, all good. And here we have to remove this, just like that. And we also need a couple of things. So we can do this in a number of ways. If you are thinking about it, we need to know what can we hit. And so what I'm thinking is we can either pass in like a list of tags, okay, that we have. And yeah, that's pretty much it, I suppose. That sounds pretty good. Now, something to mention here that you might want to know. So we choose to make this game with this kind of shitty architecture, but it's gonna work, okay? It's gonna do the job, I'm 100% sure. We can also use something called like a component-based. What we are using now is like an inheritance type of architecture. We can use something like component-based, where we actually append components to objects, and each component ticks individually, basically. And why I'm doing it, why I'm saying this, is because here we check for the enemy specifically, and so we convert it into an enemy. But what in order to receive damage, but what we should have actually is like health mob, or like mob, or I don't know, man, entity, right? Like, because a game object can be like a particle, it can be like some text on the screen, it can be anything, okay? But we are specifically referring to entities here, so things that can be damaged, okay? And so the player at some point will have to inherit from this entity, I'm thinking, because these projectiles can actually be used at some point by the enemies, and so the enemies should be able to use the same system, and we shouldn't actually have to change much in order to make this work. And we can, we don't have to do this, but it's just that I think it's better to do it this way. So what I will do now is actually I'm gonna create this entity thing, and so these entities are basically things with health. Yeah, So let's go into well, let's create a new header. Let's call this entity. So it's like a living thing, sort of thing. Thing. Also I have to remove this. Let's see, where do we have player.hpp? Okay, this is, we are too slow today. Today we are too slow. We have to pick up the pace. Okay, so this is an entity which is a game object, and all it has, well, I actually don't think that's a good way to do it. Because this will create some sort of ambiguity. Potentially. Let's see. So this is an entity and all it has really is health. Okay. And it has this entity thing which initializes this scene and starting position. And it might actually take in here the health of the mob. And we don't actually override anything. And in the player, what's gonna happen is we're actually an entity now. Surprise, surprise. And let's include this quickly. We go in here and we are actually calling the entity now because that's the one we derived from. And the player, let's say, has 10 health for now. Okay. Oops, man. Can I like write code without hitting this? Good, okay. Let's go also into enemy. The enemy should also have this as an entity. So it derives from it. We can remove the health stuff from it. By the way, the entity should have this protected, not private. So the derived classes can access it. And if we go now into the enemy.cpp, we have to change this to entity. And we also have to go in here, entity. Okay. And here we can specify the health, which is 5 for now. And now in the projectile, here instead of this entity thing, oh right, we have to put in the receive damage function. So this receive damage function will be something that can be overridden. That's what we are gonna do. So let's say virtual void, and by default it's gonna be, so it's gonna be pure virtual. We have to implement this if we are an entity. And so we have to go to the player header. We say, hey, take this, we are overriding this. And then we are here actually implementing it. For now, we are not going to do anything with it. We are still going to take damage. I mean, we are not taking damage, but we're still going to collide with the bullets for now. So we have to fix that also. So for that, we can do it in a number of ways. First of all, let's check that everything is okay with the projectile. And it appears to be okay. Let's move it here because I can't see there. Okay. So this is an entity. Everything seems to be okay. Let's include this entity because it's gonna complain, although it doesn't do it now. I can't take off the breakpoints for some reason. Okay, that's a problem for the future us. Let's fix the issue. So we would have like a target tag, target tag, and this target tag should be given inside the constructor maybe. I don't know, string target tag, and obviously here we should have like a std string target tag target its target, just like that. And this should be nicer like that because we like C++ and we like to write a bunch of code instead of writing little code. Okay, shorter, not little, I suppose. Let's see. Okay, this looks pretty damn good, I'm gonna tell you that. So if we hit the target tag, which should be an entity, supposedly. If it's now, we just return. If not, we are dealing damage. And let's build it now so we see where we fucked up. Well, apparently we fucked up in one place only. And is this where we don't actually specify stuff. So here is where we are shooting the bullet. We're in the player and the target tag is enemy. Okay, and when we are gonna spawn this, well, we still have to give like the direction of the bullet, or yeah, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, okay, so for now this will work probably. Entity. Ooh. Entity, unresolved external symbol. Okay, so we have an issue, entity. Oh, we never implemented this. So entity include entity game object scene starting position, and that should be good. Nice. Let's see, can we actually build this? Okay, this got called. Nice. Okay, this got called, obviously. Nice. And we're still hitting the player, which is pretty bad. Yeah, the thing is we are deleting the bullet anyway. So we only want to delete it if we actually reached something. And this should actually be probably in like try hit or something. But we will survive with this for now. So let's get the player collision actually corrected. So oh, and also did we check with the owner in the projectile? No, we didn't. So this will actually make it not delete itself like that, but still, if owner is this other thing, then we just return. Okay, if we encounter something of the same tag as this, we return. Okay, now it's not gonna... Okay, I forgot to remove something. Yeah, okay, let's finish this. So mbounds is let's see, mposition, mbound size, mbound size. For now, let's just make it 64 by 64. We will adjust that at some point. Mbounds offset is 0 by default. And did we have something else? I don't think we did. Let's do this. Oh, we are also, as a player, we are not using the move method here when we are moving, which should be fixed. But now you see this is not removing the bullets anymore. So that's pretty good. Okay, let's actually make this use the move thing. And this is the actual the velocity with which we want to move the object. Well, I'm using this term loosely here, just like that. So it should work just fine. Nice. Good. It's all nice. What should we do next? Well, we should probably clamp the player so it can't move outside. Yeah, we should. Yes, we should. So we have this detect collisions. I think these detect collisions should actually call the thing that detects if we are outside. So let's do it here and take it from here. So actually gonna remove this here from here, and we're gonna check if this scene bounds intersects the future bounds, like that. And if it does, we're gonna say, bro, well, if it doesn't intersect, so it's outside, we say, bro, you want to exit the scene. Well, you wanted to exit the scene at least, or actually you just exited the scene. Interesting, so this will actually get called every time. But this checks to see, so we have to make sure this function gets called only once when you exit the scene. Okay, so on okay, on outside scene it gets better. We can do it, but we have to check if we were already outside, and I don't want to do it now. This seems a bit more intuitive in my opinion. So that's what I'm gonna be doing, because I can make the rules. I'm sorry guys, you just have to deal with it. So this is on scene exit, you have to do it here, you have to do it here, and you also have to do it here, and also in the projectile, like that. Also, we have to add something to the game object, like bool m restrict movement in scene. Like, are we bound to only move inside the scene? Maybe. Let's see. Usually this will be by default set to false, so we are not restricted, but the player will be. Okay, the player will be the only thing. Well, should it be? Let me know what you think, guys. Maybe we can just make it, you know, roam free, but then we will lose our player. So yeah, for now we will just do it like that. And let's go into the game object. This is public property basically, so the scene will be able to use it. Let's go inside of the scene. Well, if, and we shouldn't even check for that if we are not, nah, actually we should, yeah. So on outside scene, I'm just thinking about problems that could occur. Let's for now do it like that. So this will get called. However, inside of the game object.cpp in the move, oof. We actually don't know. We actually don't know. I think we should put it in a different function overall. Detect outside of scene. And what's gonna happen is if we are outside of the scene, And if we are restricted to the scene, restricted, then we are simply gonna return. This, we won't care about this. Let's implement this thing. But we also have an issue. If we want to create like a particle system with that spawns particles that will go outside, and we don't want to use the move function because we don't want to update the bounds. We don't want to have any bounds actually. We don't want to have detect collisions, so we don't iterate over everything. Which wouldn't be an issue in this game. Then we would have to do this in a different manner, because we would have to detect this outside of scene thing in a different way. Because those should be detected even if we don't check for collisions like this. So, you know, just letting you know, we could also have something that checks for us, are we outside of scene, like voluntarily if we want to, but that's, you know, a discussion for us in the future, maybe not. So let's do this here. Guys, we code this as horrible as possible so that we can work in the future. So pull outside, future ABB is this. We can just copy it. We say, hey, are we outside? Yes, then we call that, and we also return that. Nice. So everything should work normal now. Man, every time I say this, I get an error. Like, chill. Let's not return anything. Like false. And otherwise we return true, I guess. Maybe we will use the knowledge of did we actually touch something, but I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe we'll take that down and make it void. So it still works, apparently. Nothing crashed, and we should still have only one entity here. Let's check if that's still the case, because that would mean this call got through. So let's put the breakpoint here, and we still have only one game object. So that worked really well, supposedly. And we can go on to the next step. And by the way, now we should... Oh yeah, we wanted to check if we can move actually. Oh, do you know why we can move? Because we move it before we check. It's in here. So, oh wait. Oh, we were checking for wrong coordinates all this time. We are... Oh my god, why did I do this? So we are adding the stuff to the position before we check. Oh my god, this is horrible. Well, see guys, you see bugs in different situations. Okay, that was wrong. Wait, what was that? So the bounding box seems to use the old bounds. That's because obviously we are updating it in the wrong place. Like that. So the player should actually not be able to move too much. Yeah, there it works. Here we had more space. So let's take out from that space. Let's actually make it 32 by 32. Like that. Maybe. Where am I? Oh, what the hell? Okay, that's pretty bad. Let's restrict it even more. Let's make it 0, 0 again. with no padding on the outside. So we were basically making the bounding box of the scene bigger than the actual screen. So, well, it kind of works, but it's simply just a tiny bit outside. So why doesn't it detect it here? Why does it let me go further? So am I really not touching it now? Let's go in here. Okay, that's the enemy. We don't care about the enemy. Let's kill the enemy. Okay, we killed the enemy. Here we are. Okay. So the amount is 0, 0. Right, we shouldn't call the move if we didn't move. So let's do that so we can debug this even faster, and because it's better this way anyway. So if h it's different than 0 and v is or v is different than 0, it means we moved. And so we can do that. So let's kill that. Whoa, it died very fast. What the hell? Well, I don't know. We can test that later. So we moved now. We called this. This is the amount. The scene bound 0. So scene bounds 0, 0, 5, 12, 5, 12, which should be good, right? Sounds pretty good to me. Are we outside? False, we are not outside. So, we are still intersecting it actually. Oh, right. You know what we should check? We should check if the whole thing is inside, not if it intersects it a little bit. Well, for now I think that's okay. We can live with that. What I can't live is the fact that we killed that guy in one shot, which doesn't sound too good. So let's debug that. Guys, so many bugs in here. What the hell? So you receive damage here. Oh, you know why? Because it doesn't get removed. Maybe? No, it actually does get removed after it receives damage. So that's gonna be an interesting case. Let's see. So amount is 1. Our health. Our health is 0. Okay, nice. That's pretty good. I'm just kidding. That's not good at all. It means we implemented this entity thing wrong, and we did. We didn't actually tell the health that we want the health we are giving him. So let's do that. So we didn't initialize it. Guys, initialize your variables, otherwise you will never succeed in your day-to-day jobs. Okay? Okay. Nice. Pretty good. Now, this episode was a bit boring. We took care of some bugs. We took care of some miscellaneous things for the future. Okay, it's for the future of mankind. All right, so next time we are gonna spawn more enemies. We have to add in more enemies. Okay, we have to make this look like a real game. Okay, we have these effects. We have like sparkles that we have to use, explosions that we have to implement. We have to implement animations first of all. Maybe we will do that actually first. Yeah. Next time let's implement animations. I hope I won't forget. Enemy projectile, like player beam, whatever. Player missile shots. Oh, now I can open files. What the fuck? Okay. What the hell? Okay. Player projectiles. Oh, I'm guessing if you move while you shoot, it gets a different orientation maybe? Huh, I don't know. charged shots. I don't know. Well, maybe we are not gonna add that much content. We have some items, but we shall see. Yeah, player ships. We have a couple. Oh no, we have the boosters. Oh yeah, we have to put in the boosters. That's true. Yeah, so animations. Next time, animations. Please remind me, guys. Yeah, see you next time. Bye. Bye bye.